Record.
Good morning, All-Stars, and welcome to our Practice E-Learning Day. You should have already read the Tecumseh article on Google Classroom. If you haven't, stop the video and read it now. Okay, open up your PowerPoints to Jefferson and go down to Roman numeral 6, Tecumseh. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. While I'm doing that, let me introduce you to my Sheltie Maury.
Good morning.
All right, Roman numeral 6, Tecumseh. As you know, Tecumseh was a Shawnee Indian whose father died in the French and Indian War. Maury, do you know what Tecumseh wanted to accomplish?
He wanted to keep the white man from taking any more land.
That is correct. Fill that in. He wanted to keep us from taking any more land. Tecumseh was smart enough to know he was never going to get all of us white men to leave America for good, so he just wanted us to stay where we were. That would be fine with him. Stay where we were and not take any more Indian land. Okay, move on to the second slide. Part A is the prophet. Fill in prophet, P-R-O-P-H-E-T. His name when he was born was Lalawathica. He was an alcoholic who became a holy man, fill in holy man, through a vision quest. Some tribes believed in vision quests that you would have, which was like a dream that foretold what you were going to do with your life. As I noted on here, Lalawathica was a lousy hunter. He was the worst hunter in the whole village, and he even poked his own eye out one time. He poked his own eye out with an arrow when he was out hunting. All right, it is time for the mystery document. The rules here are simple. I read this mystery document. If I can guess what it is, I don't get shocked. If I'm stumped, I get shocked. All right. On a chilly evening in April 1805, while lighting his pipe in his wigwam, Lalawathica collapsed into a trance so deep that his wife and neighbors believed he was dead. Yet after several hours, while his wife began to make preparations for his funeral, Lalawathica first stirred, then regained consciousness. Obviously shaken, he startled the tribesmen who crowded into his wigwam with a tale of death, resurrection, and deliverance. According to Lalawathica, he had indeed died, and his soul had been carried to the spirit world by two young men sent by the Master of Life. They transported him to a mountaintop overlooking heaven and allowed him to gaze upon a celestial paradise with abundant game and fertile cornfields. There the souls of the good Shawnees and other Indians would take their ease and live the life of plenty. But the souls of the sinful Indians would journey to another place where eternal fires burned inside a large wigwam. There the transgressors would be subjected to fiery tortures and punishment for their wickedness. The most sinful would be reduced to ashes, while the unrepentant drunkards would be forced to swallow molten lead. Finally, Lalawathica assured his audience that he was a changed man. No longer would he drink the white man's whiskey. The Master of Life had chosen him to lead the Indians back down the road towards salvation. From this day forward, he should be known as Tenskwatawa, the open door. I know this document. It is Tecumseh, Red Messiah by Paul Edmonds. I don't get shocked. Hooray. All right, we were about to fill in. One day he went to a trance, and his wife thought he was dead, and began to dig a grave, which is what I just read from that mystery document. Okay, in the next bullet, fill in that his new name is Tenskwatawa, and fill in the open door. And on the board, I have Tenskwatawa spelled out for you. There's Tenskwatawa. And make sure you also put down the open door. Now, if you're wondering, where does the name the prophet come from? The white men couldn't pronounce Lalawathica or Tenskwatawa, so the white man gave him the name the prophet. All right, put down in the next bullet, he and Tecumseh set up Prophetstown near where the Wabash and Tippecanoe rivers meet. The Wabash and Tippecanoe rivers. And yes, that is in Indiana. Maybe some of you have been there. All right, move on to slide number 3 for today. Confederacy. All right, Tecumseh built a confederacy of Indians with, naturally, he picked himself to be the leader. He used his brother's popularity to draw in many Indian tribes and try to convince them that they should unite to fight against us. Third bullet, the confederacy would never work, fill in, because many of the tribes had wars with each other in the past. Okay? Many had wars against each other in the past. Just imagine if Mount Vernon and New Pal and Greenfield, our biggest rivals, had to suddenly come together and form sports teams when we've been playing against each other for all these years. That team might not work because of our past animosities toward each other. Okay, the last bullet on that slide, Tecumseh was angered by, fill in, the Treaty of Fort Wayne, okay, in which Indians sold 3 million acres. And don't forget, Fort Wayne is named after who, Maury? Fort Wayne's named after who, Maury?
Man Anthony Wayne. Everybody knows that.
All right, let's go to the next bullet. Maury, what is the most famous battle ever in the state of Indiana?
That would be the Battle of Tippecanoe in 1811.
Yes, Maury is right. The Battle of Tippecanoe, 1811. First bullet, William Henry Harrison took troops near Prophetstown while, fill in, while Tecumseh was recruiting. Tecumseh was recruiting. The prophet went into a trance. He lit his pipe again. And, fill in, he saw a great victory. So he ordered an attack. He saw a great victory, so he ordered an attack. Then he told the Indians, if I touch you, bullets will pass right through your body. Nothing can harm you. Makes you wonder what Lalawathika had in that pipe, right? All right, fill in the next bullet. Harrison is credited with a win. Okay? And then I put down, but it was really a draw. Okay? Next bullet, Harrison became a hero, and that led him to what job? Maury, what job did Harrison get as a result of winning the Battle of Tippecanoe? Or at least everyone thinks he won the Battle of Tippecanoe. Maury.
That's easy. He became President of the United States.
Yes. Thank you, Maury. All right. Last bullet on that slide, the Indians left Prophetstown because they felt the prophet was, fill in, a fake. They thought the prophet was a fake. All right, the last slide. Part D, Tecumseh rebuilt the Confederacy, but, fill in, Indians constantly deserted. Second bullet. The War of 1812 was a great opportunity for Tecumseh. This allowed him to work with the British soldiers. So fill in, British troops, worked with British troops in Canada during the War of 1812. And this included the capture of, fill in, Fort Detroit. We talked about Fort Detroit earlier. Tecumseh was in on that battle. Third bullet, he was eventually driven into Canada and he lost at the Battle of the Thames. It's named for the Thames River in London, and it's spelled T-H-A-M-E-S. T-H-A-M-E-S. It's pronounced Thames. Now, fill in, no one knows who really killed Tecumseh for that last bullet. No one really knows who killed him. There are many legends. About 7 people claim they killed Tecumseh. One of them even ran for the Senate, and his campaign slogan was, I killed Tecumseh. I'm very glad to report that he lost. I don't even remember that man's name. Some people believe that the Indians built a large pile of wood and just burned Tecumseh's body. Some people believe that they built a grave right next to the Thames River and that a big flood carried his body away. There's even a grisly rumor that white men chopped up his body and kept little pieces of souvenirs. And then some Indians say that the Master of Life reached his hand and pulled Tecumseh into the heavens. And the National Enquirer reports that Tecumseh is really alive and he is in outer space with the lost colonists of Roanoke, and that he's really still alive. These are the many legends of Tecumseh. No one knows who really killed Tecumseh. Probably some average guy like me killed Tecumseh, and they never knew who it was. He went through his whole life and never knew that he actually killed Tecumseh. An average guy like me who has no money in his wallet because his wife only gives him $10 a week allowance and he's already spent it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time here on Mr. Falkenberg's e-learning days.